Pen and paper. Leave that to later. This year me a no bongo cat. This year me a no bongo cat. This year me a no bongo cat. Well me a no bongo cat. Alright then. Who do you think gonna get wet? Who do you think gonna hear me out? Me a no bongo cat. Hey, one only for man. I do the things that me say. Who do my cat? Who do my cat?
Sanjay, run something more.
This year me a no bongo cat. This year me a no bongo cat. This year me a no bongo cat. Well me a no bongo cat. Alright then. Who do you think gonna get wet? Who do you think gonna hear me out? Me a no bongo cat.
My colleagues on the platform, deputy leaders, chairman, general secretary, and most of all, you the laborites in Halfway Tree and watching all over Jamaica and the world. Big up your goddamn self. Tonight, I am going to speak in two parts. I'm going to speak to those out there that are listening for a message to decide as to who they vote for and why they must choose Jamaica. It is not a surprise to me that the Labour Party river has come down bang to bang tonight. And when I look in the crowd and I see the young people, I see the working class people, I see our elders and all the hard-working Jamaicans who have come out today to say, we choose Jamaica. I want everybody watching here and those watching live to know that the Jamaica Labour Party, under the leadership of Andrew Michael Honis, campaigns on good policies, performance, programs, and the execution of plans. We do not campaign on personal attacks, propaganda, empty promises, and rum talk. We are a party and a government of God-fearing and loving people, always guided by the Almighty's teachings and principle. This election is about leadership and the future of Jamaica. Do we continue to build on the numerous gains, or do we go back to the PNP's failed recycled policies and their dangerous and irresponsible rhetoric, which is being shared on their platforms over the last 2 years? On this side, we have a leader who has not only been improving the lives of the Jamaican people, reducing poverty and providing jobs at a record rate. And on the other side, they have a man who has used his connections to ensure that while every business in Jamaica was struggling in the 90s, he and his cabal got wealthy. It is not an election about orange and green. This is an election for the heart and the soul and the future of Jamaica. They cannot beat us on performance. They cannot beat us when you compare our team to their team. So they have decided to campaign on personal attacks, lies, empty promises, and rum talk, and to badmine every good policy that this government has implemented. Jamaica, let me ask you a question. Who do you trust with your water? Matthew Samuda or Ian Hills? One love to the Labour Party. Who do you trust with your roads and your works? Nestor Morgan or Richard Azan? Two love to Labour Party. Who do you trust with your economy? Favour Williams or Julian Robinson? Three love to Labour Party. Who do you trust to continue the crime reduction? Harris Chang or Peter Badmine Bunting? Four love to Labour Party. Who do you trust with your agriculture and fisheries? Floyd Green or Satan Campbell? Five love to Labour Party. And who do you trust to deal with education? Dr. Dana Dixon or Damian Goatman Crawford. In dominoes, that equal to 6 love. But I don't finish there. Who do you trust with tourism? Ed Bartlett or Wickham McNeil? 7 love, Labour Party. And I save the best for last. Who do you trust to manage transport and energy? Daryl Vaz or Michael Phillips and Philip Baldwell? That is 9 love. Me alone take on 2 of them and slew them. Sanjay, now run pretty bit, run some music, you know. Jamaica, if anybody is to give us advice on good policies, it cannot be the PNP that wrecked Jamaica in their 22 years in office. When the PNP signed a deal with the JPS that didn't benefit the customers, that wrecked you and wrecked Jamaica. This is the first time in history that the Jamaica Labour Party is going to get an opportunity to renegotiate a brand new JPS license. And for the first time, we are in the driver's seat. So the question I ask you tonight is, after they negotiated a flawed JPS contract in 2001 and came back and did the same thing in 2016, who you want to negotiate this license? Daryl Vaz and the Andrew Onis government to do a new deal. Because guess what? You see the whole deal? You see the whole license? You see the whole license what them have? See it there?
Slew them and bare feelings them a carry. Them done go already and them can't say them sorry, yeah. Slew them and bare feelings them a carry. You know want them something again. When you want to with me, slew them and put them and get them a try.
So, those of you watching and listening tonight, you have decisions to make. And that is one of the first fundamental decisions. Because what gone bad a morning can't come good at evening. Them failed 2 times already. Give the Labour Party their chance to do a new JPS license that is going to benefit you. Let me tell you, let me just give you one simple example of a bad license. You have an emergency fund that is paid every month out of your light bill. So if we have hurricane or earthquake or any natural disaster, and if we have a hurricane and the pole dropped on your fence and broke down your fence or your wall, JPS claim full for them pole and you get nothing for your wall or your fence. That is what PNP negotiate for you.
Some miss with them can't on ya. From them not speak no truth, say them can't on ya. From them man this be little youth, say them can't on ya. From them non-king street.
The PNP wants another chance to wreck Jamaica again. The only love that the PNP has ever had for Jamaica is tough love, taxes and hardship. But I tell you tonight, tough love days done long time. Since 2016, when we took office, no new taxes in 9 years and counting, lowest unemployment in history and lowest crime and murder rate in decades, 40% decrease. We have a rural electrification program that when I inherited it in 2020, the cost for rewiring your house was your cost. When I asked JSF how much to rewire a house, at that time it was $90,000. I said, how much people that want to rewire them house can afford $90,000? Them say not many. I said, that is a flawed policy. Bring back a policy to be that includes the cost of rewiring by the government as a grant to the people of Jamaica. That cost today is $150,000 paid for by the government, and we are spending over $2.4 billion to rewire and connect people to the grid so they can live an honest life. On top of which, when you connect to GPS for the first time, you're going to have a light bill. So we have made provisions to give you a smart meter where you can check your usage and know middle of the month if you're going over your budget. But in the meantime, we're going to give every household that connects on the rural electrification $4,000 a month for 6 months, which is half of what we estimate your usage to be. That is what a caring Andrew Holness administration does. So I say to the PNP, one thing. Sanjay, play the music for me. Step aside now. Run the music there, Sanjay. We need.
Step aside now. Another man wants to take over. 'Cause you don't know what you got. So now it's time to be.
When I took over, JUTC had more old bus than new bus. Now today, in 2 years, we have brought in 270 new JUTC bus. When I took over as transport minister, we were losing billions of dollars in theft of fuel. This year, we're going to save $1 billion in fuel savings between theft and the new CNG buses that we have introduced. The Prime Minister will have something more to say on that later on. When 66 students have died in accidents since 2023 and another 775 injured, with most of them dying on their way or being injured to school or on their way home. And the PNP has a dog heart to badmine a rural school bus system. Jamaica, they must pay dearly for that. They are wicked, they are evil, and they are bad mind. The rural MPs that represent the PNP have let their constituents down, because this is the single best thing that can happen to rural Jamaica, where they have a dedicated school bus system for the children so they can stop going through the trauma and the abuse every morning to get to school and get back home. We are doing so with 122 routes to serve 258 schools. That is the first phase to roll out September morning. But there are 850 rural schools, and I stand here tonight and give you a commitment, and you know I don't put my mouth around and talk, that in 2 years we will have enough rural school buses to serve all 850 schools, and no PNP can stop that. So, labor rights, they say time is on me. But I want to let you know, all I ask you to do, don't watch and listen to the propaganda of the PNP. If you want to know anything at all, just make sure that you follow my statements and you follow my social media page or the Jamaica Labour Party. We will always be honest and truthful and accountable to you. So don't make them tell you about the bus them and the door them. Everything is going to be Chris and Curry come September morning. Take that from Daryl. While coming down now, I cannot come off of this platform without burning even one little bad mind. So you see, this shirt here, I want you to look on it good. I want you to look on it good. We're going to burn out the bad mind them. I have 50,000 of these shirts because we're going to go through the nook and cranny of Jamaica. And as it relates to Portland, in closing, let me tell you, don't follow no long argument. Portland, vase can't broke. It make out of steel and metal. And we will overcome anything, whether deportee, importee, ex-convict, no matter who. Whenever the Prime Minister announces it, Portland will return as Varsland. I give you great thanks for all you have done for me over the 18 years.
We do so